So, the Ganzo survival knife, G8012. Every time somebody puts the word survival and knife together, I feel a challenge coming on. um, Last year, I think, in a YouTube video, that was the first time that I saw this knife. It was in a desert tan pattern color, and I liked it. Couldn't get it, and 3 weeks ago, found it for $19, and I got it. Came in yesterday without the ferro rod. Apparently, that's how they come in, without the ferro rod, unless you explicitly order the ferro rod extra. I don't want to do that. I have my Light My Fires, my Mora fire steel. They do a great job. Very consistent. Some people say that this is a design copy of the Bear Grylls Ultimate Survival Knife. I don't think that's true. You have the sheath, and I'm going to talk about it for a minute. Soft, rubberized material with a plastic insert right here, just like the handle. Very grippy. Now, you do have diamond coated metal plate, much like the Bear Grylls. This one's protected, the small strap which you can remove. I think that's good, and you can remove the plate. You don't need it here, you can put it in a different piece of kit. So I always think that's a good thing. You have the place for a ferro rod if you want to get it, and you have the seatbelt cutters. Luckily, you can remove these because they're crap. It's a low rider. You have this Cordura backing, and it'll sit pretty low on your belt. I like that. I like that because if you bend over, it won't poke you in the ribs. If you fall on it, it's not gonna stick you that high. It's maybe gonna catch a bit of a love handle, but not more than that. You have these two straps, which do a good job in stabilizing the knife, but they use very cheap Velcro, so don't expect a long lifetime out of these. However, the sheath holds the knife in very well. And one thing that I really like is the fact that you have plastic insert inside the sheath here, and the top part of the handle is plastic. So it's not rubber on plastic, it's plastic on plastic. It holds it in very well, and it won't wear out as quickly. Smart thing. Now, sheath aside, steel, 7 CR13 MOV, I think, like the Gerber Bear Grylls knife. Blade shape, completely different. Handle, very much different. Now, I've held the Ultimate Survival Knife in my hand. I've tested it, didn't like it very much. I like this one much more from what I can remember from that one. That one had serrations. For me, that's a big no-no. The handle is a bit narrower and a bit thinner than I would have thought. I never paid much attention to it or tried to figure out how narrow and thin it would be from other videos, but it seemed a bit thin and a bit narrow. However, due to the grippiness of the rubber, I like it. It's very comfortable. Now, this one has a full tang going through to the pommel. That's good. Gives it extra stability. The fact that the handle is so grippy and the blade so large, very wide, very thick, makes it a good chopper for its size. It's very much blade heavy. If you were to thin out the grind and maybe modify the edge angle, depending on what you want to use it for, this would be a good chopper. I mean, right now it sticks in softer woods, not in harder ones, but it would be a good chopper. You can chop greenwood with it because it has a very steep edge angle right now, but harder woods, yeah, you can make some feather sticks if you need to, but it's gonna be hard to control such a steep edge angle. It came in, I would say, with user sharpness. You can use it, but it wasn't shaving sharp. If you want to use this as a knife, as a cutting tool, to actually cut things with it, you need to sharpen it, possibly modify the edge angle. Now, personally, I like the look of the knife. I like this rounded, this big belly and this rounded tip. This is not going to be a working tip. You won't be able to dig holes into wood with this. However, this is going to be a very stable tip. And check out the thickness. I mean, this will be a good pry bar. I don't think this will break. If it didn't break with all the shocks I just put it through, I don't think it's going to break with prying. Plus, 7 CR13 MOV is not a steel that you would heat treat to a very high hardness. Probably about 56, 57 HRC, maybe. You really don't know that unless you test it. That is not going to chip. That's not going to snap. So I had no issues batoning with this knife. I had no concerns doing that because I knew worst case scenario it was gonna bend, but it's not gonna snap. And it didn't. It did great. Now, $19, yeah, it's worth $19, I would say. Are there better knives for that money on the market? Yes, Moras. If you want a good working knife that's also a good survival knife, by all means get a Mora Robust. You can watch my video, Survival Knife Mora, see what I did to that Mora Robust. I couldn't break it. Same is true for this one, and it looks better. You do have a lanyard hole, you do have the pummel, things which you don't have with a Mora. You can put a pinky lanyard here and make it even a better chopper if you modify the edge angle. This knife will probably go into my toolbox. It'll stay there. It's stainless steel, so I'm not going to worry about it rusting because I sometimes get humidity in the trunk of my car. I don't care about it. If I would put a Mora there, I would say, well, you know what? You can always use a Mora out here as a carving knife, as a bushcraft knife. This, for me, a pry bar that can do some cutting tasks. It works with a ferro rod. That's good. Comfortable handle, very grippy. I do not know if you were to cut feather sticks for a long time, if the fact that the handle is so grippy would make up for the lack of thickness. Maybe, maybe not. But I don't look at survival knives like I do at bushcraft knives. Do I recommend it? You know what? If you like it, $19 is not a huge amount of money. Get it. If you want a good knife, get a Mora Robust. But my biggest surprise was the fact that after the abuse, the coating wore off and I did bend the pummel because I hammered upon it. And that was all the damage that happened. The pummel and the coating wore off. Other than that, it's just like when I got it. Sharpness may have faded away. That's easily restored. So, a decent knife for the money. Get it, don't get it, that's up to you. Why did I get it? Because I enjoy doing what I just did. Will I keep working with it? Probably not. I'm going to lend it to a couple of friends if they want to play around with it. If they break it, so be it. I just want pictures. And if somebody feels the need to modify it, maybe I will test it if they modified it. Other than that, it's just going to go in my toolbox after I remove these strap cutters, which are horrible. This was the Ganzo survival knife, G8012. Crazy names. If you have any questions about it, feel free to post them in the comment section and I will get to them as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, I wish you all a great day.